Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. I've just gotten back from 4 days straight of partying, so we'll see how this goes. But we did record a new live episode of Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, that will be available this Friday wherever you get your podcast, the audio version of that. Today, we are taking a look at the Cobra Valkyries, and it occurred to me as I sat down here, it's a little crazy we're getting female Cobra troopers before we even have universally accepted versions of Scarlet and Baroness in the line. It's a little wacky. I think most people kind of, are fine with the Baronesses that we've gotten, but Scarlet is in dire need of an updating to the current classified style, is how I'll phrase that. So anyway, Cobra Valkyries, you can see the box art looks really cool. We've got the Sunbow nod in the background with a mind-controlled junkyard hanging out behind these two. I'm very interested to see how the tan accessories and web gear look in person, because that was really off-putting to me initially. And a lot of times we open these things up and find out that they look perfectly fine in person. So we'll see how it goes. Art on the side looks really cool. This is number 68. And then on the back, you've got all of the accessories detailed. And it is interesting to note that it's literally just black and tan version. Well, we'll see if this is tan or khaki or how it's turned out in the actual production. So there they are. Let's open them up and check them out. I'm excited about these. I like my... Oh, this has already been opened. That's a little scary. These came from Hasbro Pulse, so I don't see... Ooh, gee whiz. And that's... Gee whiz is not something I say lightly. Okay, so they're Valkyries. I've never gotten anything from Pulse that already had the tape cut on it before. That's a little crazy. Huh. All right, well, looks we'll see if all the accessories are here. Very strange if this had been Amazon. Well, and I mean, these came last week. I just have obviously, as I said, been very, very busy and hadn't had an opportunity to look at them yet. All right, let's get our figures out first. Got the cool grayscale background going on there. And then we've got, now this is even more of that twine that Dan Larson pointed out could be used for Shipwreck's grappling hook, if you so desire, if you find that aesthetically acceptable. That first one, Untwisted, no problem. There we go. From what I understand, I don't remember which line it was, because let me just tell you how much toy news has not been a part of my life over the past, really about the past week, because it wasn't just the full weekend of partying at Dragon Con. It was also, the prior week of preparation for it. So I don't know where we are. There's a lot. I don't know what's going on. My son tells me there's some new HasLab Avenger thing happening. I don't know anything about that. All right. And there we go. There's our nice grayscale artwork. I've been keeping these, and I will do so until I realize there is no reason to keep them, and I will throw them away. So yeah, it is kind of a khaki look. It's okay. You know what? It looks better in person. It's not as light as I thought it might be. So I'm okay with it. And most of it can be removed if you so desire. Man, that belt really doesn't stay in place very well. Most of it can be removed if you so desire. The only place where you're stuck with it is the painted on straps for the forearm guards. So the backpack will hold the web gear in place, so that won't be sliding around like it is right now. Okay. All right. And I will assume you can swap those heads if you would prefer to have... Well, of course you can swap those heads because this includes alternate heads. So if you prefer the darker skinned character with the khaki, then you can absolutely do that. And I did order 2 sets of these. Now, one of them, depending on how much I like them and how much I feel the need to display the alternate looks, one of them may go to my son. I'm not sure yet. But for right now, I plan on displaying both sets just with the alternate portraits. So I'm not even going to sit here and speculate about the parts because honestly, I know it's interesting to a lot of Joe fans. I don't care that much about parts usage. I care about, does this look like a new character to me, as opposed to, does this literally look like just a repainted Lady J or whatever the case may be. But honestly, I just don't. What I find interesting is that I cannot tell, or I cannot immediately discern parts usage. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. Everything looks great. Painted detail looks solid. Actually, the Cobra, I take that back. The tampo on the Cobra symbol, if you can see on this one, and look, you're not going to be able to tell this on the shelf, so I don't care. But I do notice, and those of you who are more eagle-eyed viewers may see, the red is just a little off to the side. You can see some of the black on the Cobra logo right here on the side, so it was just a little off center. But then put it here, I can't tell that at all, so it doesn't bother me. The eyes look fantastic. The mask looks great. I really dig this new Cobra mask design. As far as the male Cobras, I wouldn't mind getting one that just has sort of the traditional bandana type of look. I always thought of it as a bandana over a balaclava. Although really the originals, it could well be just the face bandana piece with a helmet. There might not have even been a balaclava involved. Everything looks great though. Details are good. Paint is good. I like the gloss on the armored pieces versus the more flat boots. This is one of the things that, it's such a little detail, but it's one of the things that really keeps Classified looking special, is the way that they handle things like that. Because it is, these are clearly armored pieces. And then you've got the flatter black for the boots. And then the more reinforced mesh, which really, that's not black. That's like a dark, dark blue. Which I'm sure matches up with the male Cobra Troopers. Yeah, you know what? I can't say I'm sure it matches up. I think I got to go get one and do a little comparison here, huh? Okay, just so we're comparing oranges to oranges, so to speak, let's put our other... I don't care which head's on what, really, but we're going to move along here. So here is our black web gear version, which, remember, I swapped the heads on those. Look at the blue eyes, look great on that portrait. The arched eyebrows look really good. Let's do a comparison. I'm sure, I don't know that those portraits are the same, but just different colors. Oh, sorry. I'm sitting here trying to look at them up close. Here, let's do this. I keep doing this more and more. It's like once you find a tool, you kind of have to... Like, once you've started using a tool and you realize it actually is helpful, even though I'm not super duper into that kind of detailed exploration, those look like different portraits to me, and it may well just be the paint. Anyway, interesting. Okay, so everything looks deco-wise. I mean, the base is pretty much the same. Everything looks good. Everything looks sharp. Oh, let's check out. Okay, so you can see maybe. The red on the Cobra logo is centered on this one. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, it is. All right, so first up, this is our Cobra Island Trooper. And the blue is, I mean, to my eye, pretty much the same. Certainly close enough that I'm happy. And then here is our Cobra Infantry, which was the mainline release later on down the line. And that blue, again, say to my eye, same. But what's interesting, so they don't completely match because our Valkyrie has glossy armor pieces and our Cobra Island has sort of a metallic black, which is different. Well, it's not even really black. It's almost like a really, really, really dark gunmetal, but does still have the different colored boots. And then our Trooper has blue metallic-ish armor. So they don't... She actually matches the Cobra Island release better than the infantry release. I'm trying to remember if I compared these two when I did my review of the Cobra Infantry. I'm sure I did. But I've got to say, I really, really prefer the blue and the black over the all blue. I'm glad I hung on to these, because at one point these were going for, I don't know what they're going for now. They were going for a decent amount of money. I'm glad I hung on to these, because I've got 4 of these and 4 of these. And I got to say, this look is better, especially now that we have the Valkyrie that complements this one more. So that is very interesting. And then finally, to really complete that look, the Cobra Officer, look how good the 3 of those look together. I mean, that is really, really cool. I do kind of wish the Officer had a little glossier. Like, I really like the gloss on the armor pieces on the Valkyrie. But anyway, overall, these 3 just match and look great as a unit. And then you throw in, though, the tan web gear, and that does, you know, it's different. It's different. If you really wanted to, you could probably pull the removable pieces of web gear off this one and have kind of a slightly different look to go, you know, and make a real unit here. But whatever. Anyway, let's keep moving on. I didn't expect to get that deep into Cobra Blues in this review, but here we are. All right, so you can see, you get the idea. This is a great... now I want male Cobras with this exact color scheme, which I think is probably pretty likely, because Hasbro has absolutely discovered the magic of troop builders. Oh, I didn't really mess with the articulation too much on either one of these, but I think we're to a point now where I'm not super worried about the articulation anymore. We seem to be pretty much past the now I'm not saying it couldn't come back, but we seem to be in a pretty good place at the moment where the articulation is doing what we want. They do have just the regular necks. They're still missing that pivot, that joint right at the top of the neck that the first releases in Classified had. That's one of my favorite joints for an action figure to have. Wait, which way? Okay, there we go. So I am pretty annoyed that one has disappeared. Okay, so there we go. There are our 2 Valkyrie. You know what? I'm going to swap their heads back just so I for sure do have a set that looks like they came out of the package looking... Oh, gosh, wait a minute. Just noticed that. So this one is fine, but this one has, well, not really. It looked like there was a big gap right at the base of the neck. Well, and there can be, but that's if you kind of force it beyond the range it's meant to achieve. Just in normal posing and whatever, it's fine. Like you can see it a little bit where the collar comes together, but I'm not. That's fine, whatever. Okay, there's that. Let's get into, I believe, the largest accessory locker we have seen yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. You know what else I just noticed? Unless oh, there it is. I was gonna say that annoying little piece of paper seems to be missing. So I'm gonna keep this locker because this is a larger sized version that'll hold even more stuff when I need to organize my space and move things around. Okay. This review of two nearly identical figures is taking longer than I expected it to. But it's because we're discovering some interesting things, and that is what I love about doing toy reviews. Oh, okay. Man. See, now we get into look at the loadout, more blast effects, and as your library of blast effects continues to get bigger and bigger, you really do. And man, I think I'm just going to keep this set here in the toy workshop so that I can try all of these different ones out as on different things as they come in. Because there have been a couple times in the past where I've wondered if a blast effect would fit, and I either have to go get one, or if I'm being lazy that day, not. Ooh, I really like this. Looks good. Let's see here. I do not like the khaki weapons. I think that, honestly, I think that was a bad call. And I get that, well, these probably all come out of the same tool, but I doubt the web gear does. I mean, I don't know. But no, it can't, because this is not the same. Oh man, that's great too. We've got some really cool weapons in here. And you guys may be like, well, yeah, we know. We saw them online. But I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it so new viewers understand how I'm looking at these things. If there's a toy that I know that I want, I don't look too closely at what it comes with, because I want that discovery of the unboxing to happen live, like here. So I don't want to have complete knowledge of, you know, everything that is included with figures, because it doesn't matter to me until I have it in hand. Boy, okay, cool. So blast effects wise, we've got that kind of moving blast of the, you know, the gun like that. Looks cool and fits, I'm sure, very well into all of the various, well, I guess that's more automatic weapon fire, I believe, as you're sweeping the area. But plugs right in there. And then you've got more of a sort of, this seems more like it, oh man, I just bent the heck out of that barrel. So there you go, and it's fine already now. And these are, that's on me, that's not on this. I'm glad this is, well, one, I'm glad this is the khaki one that's going straight into a bag, so I can give other weapons to that troop, because I'm not going to use these at all. I don't like them. I wish they were gunmetal. Even if that made the backpack gunmetal, fine. That would be preferable to this, because this is terrible. Although I guess I could paint these if I really wanted to, but I don't really do that anymore. Anyway, so if there would be a big stress mark right here, I mean, sort of see it, but if that was black, this would be completely ruined. I mean, beyond the fact that it's already kind of ruined from being a khaki thing. So you can combine all of these in whatever way you want. Some people will like to use actual firearm logic. Some people will prefer to just do whatever looks cool. How ridiculous can we get? With the, yeah. So we have a 3-stage explosive bullet coming out of the barrel of this little pistol. I think that's great. Okay. So anyway, there's all your blast. Oh man, I could have even gotten another one on there. So lots of cool, wild-looking blast effects for your figure photography, or if you just like having stuff like that displayed on the shelf. They all look cool. I like, it's neat to have them. And like I said, I'm going to keep these here in a little jar in the workshop so I can compare them to future, or use them with future releases. Okay. So our khaki weapons that, gosh, you know what? I might actually, for the first time in I don't know how long, sit down, because I really, really like this. If you want to tell me in the comments what this is or what it's based on. Okay, wait. Well, that's not even going to fit. See, I feel like that one maybe should go in that lower barrel. But, whatever, you can still, that can be like a, so it's got, that one has a hole as well. Anyway, tell me in the comments, what is this? What's it based on? I dig it, though. It's a really cool looking blaster. This one it reminds me a little bit of Destro's gun, but it's obviously a little more complicated than that. Looks great. I dig it. Actually, it reminds me of the Sunbow pistol a bit. I mean, obviously much more detailed. Total lack of paint on these. If there was some paint on these khaki ones, no, they'd still be khaki. I don't need Eddie Bauer firearms. Dual set of pistols, which I really like. They look good as well. Perhaps we've seen them in the line before. I don't know. I don't really keep track. I just want stuff to look cool. Little knife, and then we do have some paint on the knife, which I appreciate, because boy, as much as khaki weapons are a bridge too far, a fully khaki knife just would not do it for me. Yeah, there's another thing for the comments. Maybe I'm being crazy and khaki weapons are a thing. Are they? Khaki backpack, obviously a little more acceptable. I'm still not a fan of the pegs just sticking out like this, but I get wanting to be able to store the weapons on the backpack. I mean, I get it. I don't love it, but I get it. That just looks so odd to me. So I guess we should find out how well all of this interacts with our khaki Cobra. Our Banana Republic officer, perhaps. My assumption is that everything is going to slide into place just like it always does on classified figures. There's one area where things really, really work is the interactivity of the accessories with the figure. Very rarely have I ever had problems with that. So we have got an officer helmet with the painted chevron and 2 standard helmets with no chevron at all, but they do have detailing. You can see that painted gloss detail around the edge. And then we've got a cool gas mask look, which maybe, since the gas mask is so different anyway, maybe we make our khaki trooper. Oh, I thought the helmet would go over. Is the head that much wider? So the gas mask head is a little wider. Now it fits. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be honest. It seems like it stretches it a bit, but it does fit. That looks really cool. Okay, so wait, does the regular head stretch it like that? Okay, that's just the design. so the helmet stays on securely. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so the helmets are a softer plastic, but it's so that just friction will keep them attached to the head. So that's a nice design. I really like that. That looks great. And I'm pretty okay with that khaki look with this one. And look at there's a metallic. Okay, so let's get the helmet back off here. Metallic red on those goggles, nice silver in the filters and on the front piece, and maintaining sort of the aesthetic of that Cobra mask a little bit. So this is the look for this one. And I think I've already decided in my head that I am indeed keeping both sets of these for myself because this looks really cool. So this is going to be one look. And then we have the all black. Go ahead and gear this one up as well. Backpacks fit in nice and snug. And like I said, once the backpack is in, it kind of keeps the web gear in place. So that's a good thing. That pistol in the holster. And let's see, I'm going to go with this right here. And then the officer helmet. Oh, I did not. There we go. And there they are. Cobra Valkyries. Pretty decent number of combinations. I think you could easily get 6 significantly different looks out of these if you really wanted to get 3 sets, but I'm going to be good with 2 sets. And yeah, there they are. Super stoked about these. Love getting troop builders, but especially just regular, as you know, as much Crimson as they've released, getting just regular Cobras is a nice thing. I'm not going to get crazy with troop building, but someday, just between different releases they do, I would like to have a full shelf of just Cobra troops. It would be great. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back all the time for more toy reviews. And until next time, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.